Good evening. How are you guys doing? Well, my name is Michael Mancha, and this is my wife, BaTina, and we pastor the church in Eugene, Oregon. Man, thank you. Yeah. It is a privilege for us to be able to share with you a small snippet of our testimony of how God has worked in our life. About 3 years ago, God laid a call on our family to move from San Antonio, Texas, to Eugene, Oregon, to pastor the church there. But the story of how it all came to be was one that only God could write. 2 years before that, in 2014, God brought my family through a trying period of unemployment. And it was in that time that God proved his faithfulness to us and taught us what it meant to be obedient.
Yeah, I remember the day Michael lost his job and receiving that phone call, and I just heard him on the other end in a shaky voice saying, come and pick me up. I've been let go from my job. And we were a single income family at that time. So as a stay-at-home mom, you would think, okay, she's in sheer panic right now. Maybe for about a second I was, but honestly, it was this inner peace, immediate inner peace that I felt that God gave me in order to get through what we went through. Later on that night, Michael and I had a conversation, and I expressed to Michael, I said, you know what, the Lord has been giving me this vision, and he kept on putting in my mind, in my head, PNW. That's what he said, PNW, PNW, PNW. And at that time, I thought it meant maybe Seattle, Pacific Northwest. PNW, for those of you who don't know what that is, PNW is Pacific Northwest. And at that time, I thought maybe Seattle, or I don't know. I wasn't too sure. At the time, I didn't know what it meant, but I knew we had to be obedient to God and pray and discover that a little bit more.
It was through this season that God continued to show his faithfulness and his steadfast love. And God gave me a phrase. He spoke this phrase to me. And for those of you who know me and those of you who go to our church know and hear me say this all the time. But God gave me this phrase during this time, and he said, he is who he says he is. He will do what he says he will do, and he will be who he says he will be. And eventually, through finding work and coming out of this season in 2016, God placed a call on us into a ministry that we honestly weren't prepared for and had never planned on. And the Eugene Church was looking for a pastor, and we were the ones that God had chosen to do it. And because of God's compelling love, because of his faithfulness to us, because of how he had proved his faithfulness to us in this season of unemployment when he didn't have to prove himself to anybody, but he proved himself to us in our obedience. And we knew in full confidence that this is what he needed from us. And so despite how hard it was for us to leave our family, a church, and a city that we loved very much, we could joyfully follow where he was leading us to go.
So trust in him. Jesus is who he says he is. He will do what he says he will do, and he will be who he says he will be.
Amen. May God bless you. Thank you.